Hey, what's up? This is Joshua, daily video blog. I think we're gonna go for 2 today. I'm gonna take a kind of quick, well, not a quick, a long, fast walk around the block and get a couple videos in. Strangely enough, I am self-conscious at the moment for some reason that I can't quite put my fingers on, but it doesn't matter because we're gonna keep it going. And it probably makes sense because we're gonna talk about introversion today. So I was thinking about this talk I gave yesterday, and one of the things that I pointed out was that the world operates as though the general disposition of introverts is the ideal kind of operating system, i.e. conscientious, considerate, thoughtful, reserved, sort of good listeners, basically like very reasonable people who only talk when things need to be said, and mostly keep their head down and do their thing and get their work done. It's as if that's like sort of what is lifted as the ideal. But meanwhile, you rarely see people that fit that description in, say, a place of power or influence. We do not expect presidential candidates, for example, to be introverts. I have rarely worked for anyone that could be qualified as an introvert, and if they were, they sure kept it hidden. And I'm trying to think, but I come out of art school and background where almost everybody is an introvert. I am a hardcore introvert. It takes training and effort and endless deprogramming to get myself to do stuff like walk down the street talking to a phone, kind of drawing attention to myself, maybe talking when there's not anything that necessarily needs to be said at the moment. So, introversion. But one of the things I was thinking about is the first part is there's these 2 rule books. Rule book number 1, these are qualities that we think are great. You should embody these qualities. You should be thoughtful and reserved and smart and quiet, and not just mouthing off at all times. On the other hand, it is as if there is a secondary rule book, and that rule book is given to anyone that we decide gets to run things. And that rule book says, talk all the time, draw attention to yourself, don't necessarily think before you speak. In fact, it's probably better if you do not. And basically go make a ruckus and draw attention to yourself. Hence presidential politics. And I defy anybody to sort of prove me wrong on that front. The narcissistic extrovert is the default mode for basically running the culture that we live in, and probably all cultures since the beginning of time. But there's this new thing happening where you have all kinds of academics and writers and social scientists and whatnot who are championing the value and power of the introvert. Now, maybe those people are introverts in and of themselves. It's entirely possible. But what seems to be happening is that you have all these people going on and on about all the sort of positive values of being an introvert. And I've talked about this with other introverts. We all acknowledge that it is a liability, that there are pros to it. It's pretty easy to be productive when you don't want to be distracted by other people all the time, and you actually prefer to be by yourself for decent chunks of time. But when you sort of understand the social mechanisms and the fact that by and large, the world is not going to give you the things you want if you do not make an obnoxious ruckus, it's kind of frustrating. I don't know anybody I shouldn't say I don't know anybody. It's not like I quizzed everyone. Many of my closest friends who are also introverts acknowledge that it's a pain in the ass and that it's a liability and that it's a thing you have to work around. So you have all these academics, social scientists, whatnot, who are championing the introvert. Your organization needs introverts. Your managers need to be introverts. All of this stuff. The power of introverts. Blah, blah, blah. there may be some truth to that, but the thing I would sort of think about and register is the fact that these people who are always claiming to be introverts, and they may very well be in real life, are not introverts in the media that you consume them. What's her name? Who's the power pose lady? Amy Cuddy? She might be an introvert in real life. Giving a goddamn TED Talk is not an introverted activity. Now, it's a powerful and important thing to learn how to extrovert yourself and to build up that muscle. But once you do that, you give the appearance that you're not an introvert and you get the things that you want. So me running around, making videos every day, drawing attention to myself, tweeting, Instagramming, Snapchatting, all of this stuff, giving talks, taking the talks that I give in my class and posting them online. All of that stuff gives the appearance that I am not an introvert. It's part of why I do it. And so the thing to watch out for, the warning, be wary of this whole revolution of the introvert thing, because it is only getting in front of you because a whole bunch of people are choosing to extrovert themselves. I could very easily do the same things that I do right now and talk about how awesome it is to be an introvert. And people would be like, well, he's an introvert. And why am I listening to him? And it'd be like, oh, because this dude is trying to make an omnipresent social media world, and everything I'm responding to has to do with extroversion. So, listen, there's powerful, great stuff about being an introvert, certainly. But all you have to do is just get a job and keep your eyes open and understand that being an introvert and just thinking that's going to be good enough is no different than making fantastic work and refusing to share it with anyone until it's perfect. It's basically this whole new, like, the power of the introvert thing is a variation on if you build it, they will come. Meaning, hey, just make your work. Don't worry about whether anyone will see it or how to share it or anything. Just make it. It'll be fine and everything will be okay. And by some magical stroke, people will come into your life and connect with you. That's the same logic with this whole cult of the introvert thing. So, you know, work to your strengths, but also understand where you're getting screwed because narcissistic extroverts are actually running the world. All right, and they will continue to, even no matter how many times we say that being introverted is great. All right, cool. Thanks for watching.